let's just give it a few seconds while everyone streams in. We've got participants logging on. So let's wait for about 10 seconds, 10, 15 seconds maybe.
One moment, my video is giving trouble. I'm going to just restart very quickly. Sorry.
Sure. Yeah. We have participants signing in to the live, so
You're good, Visakhi.
give it.
They're connected now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. 5 more seconds. Should
Yep,
we
we're
give
good to
it 5 more seconds? Yeah. Okay. Let's get started. All right. So hello and welcome to the Canadian Immigrant web conference series in partnership with ACCES Employment. My name is Baisakhi Roy and I am the co-editor of Canadian Immigrant. We are thrilled to have you, all of us, join today. Today is our final of the series of the specific web conference for newcomers for 2024. We will have 3 presentations. It's a packed house today. We will have 3 presentations, all designed for newcomers that are in the HR, human resources profession or are looking to get into the HR profession. Please note at the outset that this whole session will be recorded and it will be posted on our website and on all our social channels. For those who can't attend, do not despair. It is going to live on our website and our socials for you to refer at a later time. Before we get started, we do want to share a short video from our sponsors. Before we get, I am seeing a lot of people logging in. So before we actually go on to our presenters, I'll have my colleague Laura Jackman press play for our sponsor video. Go on, Laura. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Laura, and thanks to our sponsors for their continuous support for these web conferences. Finally, on to the presentations. I'm very excited and thrilled to welcome our first speakers today from ACCES Employment. We have Aditika Mangalik. She is the talent acquisition and newcomer. She works in the talent acquisition and newcomer empowerment team, and Michelle Allen, who is the project manager CHRL. They will be speaking on ACCES Employment's HR Connections program, wealth of information out there. So if you have any questions, please do feel free to type them in our chat box or click on the Q&A button down below and also typing them on the right side, and we'll answer them at the end of the presentation. You can also email us at info@canadianimmigrant.ca. So without further ado, take it away, Aditika and Michelle.
Thank you so much, Baisakhi. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michelle Allen. I'm the project manager for the HR Connections program, and I'm here with my colleague, Aditika Mangalik, who is the employment consultant for the HR Connections program. And I just want to take the time to thank Laura Jackman and Baisakhi Roy, as you just heard from, for giving us the opportunity to partner with Canadian Immigrant in delivering this webinar series. So it's much appreciated. I'm going to go into a little bit about ACCES, who we are. We're going to go into the HR Connections program in terms of what it is. And then we're just going to give you a little bit of job search tips. And then we're going to have a Q&A at the end of this. So to begin, a little bit about ACCES. Our vision, a fully inclusive labor force that reflects the diversity, skills, and experience of Canada's population. Our mission, we assist job seekers from diverse backgrounds who are facing barriers to employment to integrate into the Canadian job market. We achieve this by providing employment services, linking employers to skilled people, and building strong networks in collaboration with our many community partners. About our job seekers are highly educated and very diverse individual. They're coming from various educational backgrounds, but the highest having postgraduate, 41%, bachelor's degree, 32%. In regards to the occupational background of the job seekers, majority of them are coming in business, finance, administration, which human resources fits into this category. And the second is sales and service, sorry. And you can see the rest. 79% of our clients are newcomers to Canada. And through that 79%, 85 different languages are spoken, just to give you a sense of our clientele. Around the programs and services, we have our ACCES Employment, where we help you with your job search. We provide information on employment consulting, job placement, job fairs, job search workshops for newcomers, resources and information. We have Second Careers, Canada, Ontario Job Grant. We provide various mentoring support through our speed mentoring event, which is a trademark event that we have throughout the year. We have it also in French, so we have speed mentoring en français. We have the Tribe Mentoring Partnership and Connectors Program. If you are entrepreneurial minded, we have Starting a Business. So we have our Entrepreneurship Connections Program. We have Women in the Workplace programs. One is Start Customer Care Program. We have our Empowering Women, Women in Technology, and we have our Career Pathways for Newcomer Women. Language, as you see, we have many different languages spoken, and for a lot of our clients, English may be their second language. We provide language for workplace connections, as well as Talk English Cafe, which is if you're looking to improve your conversational English skills, we have this program for you, and it's offered throughout the year. Youth in the Workplace, the Job Youth Connection Program, and then we have our pre-arrival online support services. For those of you that are in the pre-arrival stage and still in your home country, we can help you to prepare for the Canadian job market through virtual online services. If you need more information, you can easily connect on our website, www.accessemployment.ca, for further information. And that's our Canadian Employment Connections Program. We have our Entrepreneurship Connections Program, which is also part of pre-arrival. And then we have our online services, so ACCES Connect, e-Access, which is a e-newsletter and webinars, and our email subscriptions as well. We have various sector-specific programs. It supports internationally trained professionals to find work in your field that reflect your past experiences. Each program that you see here provides you with customized sector-specific training designed to orientate you to your sector in Canada. We have connections with employers hiring you in your sector and actively involved in developing, delivering, and recruiting from our program. So this is just a touch of our programs. There's a little bit more, but we have cybersecurity, engineering, financial services, healthcare, of course, HR connections, information technology, leadership connections, digital marketing connection, which is a program I also manage as well, supply chain connections, connecting to careers in advanced manufacturing. The newest to our roster is connecting to careers in agricultural, technology, and vertical farming. We have cloud computing connections, as well as connecting to careers in early childhood education. We also have French language programs, again, speed mentoring on Francais, and we also have business connections on Francais. And this lady here is one of our alumni from the HR Connections program, and we like to really, share the stories of our clients going through the different bridging programs, just to give you, their thoughts on how the programs supported them. Why come to ACCES? Well, we have a really great track record of success. 87% of our participants in our bridging program will find employment in their field within 1 year or less. Our programs are highly specialized, offering intensive sector-specific training designed to help you as newcomers, as new Canadians, to find work in your field or related field. Each program is in close consultation with employers, academic partners, and is designed to enhance and not duplicate your existing education. One of the things that we try to do, or we do, is provide the academic information within the Canadian context. So everyone's coming with their, experience, skills, education, but we're going to look at providing information within the Canadian context. Our first priority is to help you find full-time permanent employment in your field or related field that reflects your past experience and the salaries that commensurate with your education and skills as well. And again, our programs will provide you with the Canadian education and affiliate you with reputable Canadian college or university. There is certificates that are provided from each sector specific bridging program. And one will be from ACCES and one will be from that academic institution. Now I'm going to pass it over to Andetika to take it through the Human Resources Connections Program and to give you some job search tips. Thank you.
Lovely.
Andetika?
Thanks a lot, Michelle. Thank you. All right, so let's talk about Human Resources Connections Program at ACCES Employment. So this is a 7-week employment program or a job search program, which is designed specifically for internationally trained HR professionals. And the aim of this program is to help participants secure employment in their field here in Canada. We are proud to partner with Human Resources Professional Association, also known as HRPA, and Sheridan College to deliver a program which is built on a proven and successful model. Our approach of this program, it focuses on 3 key pillars. One is strong employer involvement. So we connect participants directly with industry leaders and potential employers. Through our partnership with Sheridan College, we also ensure participants are well equipped with knowledge tailored to the Canadian HR landscape. And we also help participants master effective communication strategies that are extremely crucial for success in Canadian workplaces. So all in all, this program is your stepping stone to a very fulfilling career in the Canadian HR sector. All right. Let's move on to what this program has to offer and how it will support your journey in the HR sector. So transitioning to HR Canada, it involves understanding the nuances of the sector. And this program provides a comprehensive orientation to HR practices, policies, and expectations in the Canadian context. We'll give you an overview of HR roles and career paths, and we'll also try and make you understand the provincial regulations and labor market trends and the best practices for aligning your skills with Canadian HR standards. This program also focuses on effective communication, professional email and report writing, active listening, and adapting to cultural nuances and workplace etiquette in Canada. And these skills will enhance your ability to interact with diverse teams and also foster collaborative environments. The training is designed to deepen your expertise in HR-specific areas such as Ontario employment law, diversity, equity, and inclusion, labor relations, health and safety, and the Ontario-specific focus ensures that your knowledge aligns with regional HR practices. You will also gain hands-on experience through real-world HR projects, for example, an experiential learning project. And this project is basically designed to bridge the gap between theory and practice. Apart from that, you can also earn a recognized micro-credential upon program completion from Sheridan College. This credential demonstrates your commitment to professional development and enhances your resume. You also get a certificate or a digital badge that you can display on your social media platforms like LinkedIn, or if you have a website of your own, you can display it there as well. If you're planning to pursue your CHRP exam or CHRL exam, then this program also offers dedicated exam preparation. We also leverage our network to access HR job opportunities, connect you with employers, refer you to networking events, mentorship events, etc. And lastly, again, securing a job is only the first step. We also provide post-hiring support to ensure long-term success. So you'll get guidance on navigating workplace challenges, tips for career growth, and continuous skill development. All right. I'll quickly run through the eligibility. And again, if you have any questions related to any of the program components or criteria, feel free to get in touch with me. I'll share my contact details with you later. But just a high-level overview of the eligibility. The first criteria is that you should have at least a bachelor's degree from outside of Canada, or your highest level of education should be from outside of Canada. And for that, we're going to ask you for your credential assessment results. So it could be from WES, ICAS, IQES. Any one of these agencies will be fine. We also need your immigration status. So you could be a permanent resident, a naturalized Canadian citizen, conventional refugee, refugee claimant, or even an open work permit holder, as long as you have 1 year validity remaining on your work permit. You should have a minimum of 2 years of experience in HR outside of Canada. We'll also need your English language assessment report, and you should have a minimum of 8 and above in each category of reading, listening, speaking, and writing. So we accept your IELTS score, TOEFL, PTE, etc. Any of these agencies are fine, or even if you've given any exams in Canada, those are also fine, but we need a minimum of 8 in each category. And lastly, you should not have been away from the field of HR for a period longer than 3 years. These are some of the basic eligibility criteria. All right, great. So now I'll talk about the strategies and tools to streamline your job search in Canada and position yourself for success. So whether you're new to the country or you're exploring new opportunities, these tips will help you focus your efforts effectively. So first is strategize your job search. Try and understand industry trends. What are the skills that are highly in demand, and what are the preferred qualifications to find that coveted, that elusive job opportunity. You can also explore platforms like Job Bank, LinkedIn, Glassdoor. There are lots of private agencies like Randstad and Monster. You can explore all these platforms to find some information about salaries and what are the job requirements. The next thing is to identify your strengths, your transferable skills, and your unique selling point or your unique experiences. Work on developing your personal pitch or your elevator pitch that highlights what you bring to a potential employer. What is it that you bring to the table? How are you different from the rest of the people that are applying for the same position? Customize your resume and cover letter for each application. So in order to stand out for each job that you're applying for, it is extremely imperative that you work on your resume, that you tailor your resume for each job that you're applying for. The same resume will not work for all the jobs. You need to customize your resume. And why? Because you need to transfer the keywords from the job posting or the job description into your resume to align with the employer expectations. So when you're applying for a role, make sure that you read the job description thoroughly, identify the keywords, and transfer them to your resume. And that's what tailoring of the resume means. Make use of reliable job boards like Indeed, Workopolis, their company career pages, Randstad, like I said. Again, LinkedIn. Oh my God, I love LinkedIn. It is such an amazing platform to look for the jobs that you're looking for. And you can set up alerts to stay informed of new opportunities. So LinkedIn has a section, for example, where you can set up alerts, and it sends you emails daily on all the jobs that are related to the alerts that you've set up. And then you'll know what jobs are available, and you can immediately then apply for the jobs. And emphasize on the skills that apply across all roles and industries. There are some soft skills that most of the employers in Canada are looking for. Those skills are communication, teamwork, and problem solving. So try and bring that out in your profile. So if you've got a LinkedIn profile, highlight these key skills in your LinkedIn profile or on your resume. So make sure that you're highlighting your experiences and your transferable skills. Now, the next very important thing is to building your online presence, professional online presence. And I cannot stress on this more. If you are looking for jobs in HR, it is extremely important that you have an online presence, that you know what you bring to the table, what is a unique selling point, and what is your brand. One of the things that you can do is, again, optimize your LinkedIn profile, use a professional photograph, write a compelling headline on your LinkedIn profile, and create a keyword-rich summary, create a profile summary or a professional summary that highlights your achievements, your certifications, even volunteer work that you might have done in the past or in Canada, for that matter. You can also request endorsements from your past colleagues, from your friends, from managers or mentors that can vouch for your skills. So these are the people who know you, that you've worked with. So maybe these people can write some endorsements for you. And lastly, what you can do is you can share articles, insights, and posts about your industry. And that's an amazing way of engaging with your network. You know, when you comment on these posts, when you write messages to people through these posts, when you share your insight, your own personal insight on all these articles, and it increases your visibility on social media platform. People know who this person is, and that is what you need to do in order to find a job in HR. Network effectively. So make sure that you're not just networking from your laptop or from your computer. You're also out there physically present in career fairs, networking events, professional meetups. Introduce yourself confidently. So work on your elevator pitch. Talk about your achievements, work on your accomplishments, and exchange contact information. Reach out to recruiters on LinkedIn. So any recruiter that you might have met at a professional meetup, reach out to them later, follow up with them, and connect with industry professionals. And anytime you reach out to a recruiter, make sure you personalize your message to make a positive impression and to leave a lasting impact. Join local professional associations. For example, HRPA is a great example. That's a great professional association. There are hundreds of other professional associations that you can join. TRIAC is one of those. And you can leverage these platforms to expand your network. And try and get informational interviews. You can request short meetings with professionals in your industry, in your field, to learn about their roles and organizations and what they did to reach that level, and what does their day-to-day look like. And before you go into these meetings, make sure that you are well prepared. You've got some talking points, prepare some thoughtful questions, and express genuine curiosity to learn more about what they do and how they reach where they are. All right. Next is develop Canadian workplace knowledge. So make sure that you have done a lot of research on workplace norms, such as communication styles, diversity, and teamwork. So you can find this information by going on a company's website, Glassdoor. There are lots of forums where you can find information about these organizations. And you can also learn about their policies about punctuality, teamwork, and feedback. Like I said, soft skills are a must-have. Employers focus a lot on soft skills apart from just your technical skills or your hard skills. So ensure that you are aware of the policies regarding punctuality, feedback, how do people get feedback, probation, diversity, teamwork, etc. Highlight your adaptability and willingness to learn. So share examples of how you've adapted to new environments in the past. So if you get an opportunity to speak with a recruiter during an interview, you can talk about your transferable skills or your past experiences, and you can show how capable you are of working in diverse environments by showing how you've adapted to new environments in the past. Another thing is you can pursue certifications or courses relevant to the industry. So, again, CHRP, CHRL are great examples, and there are so many courses and certifications that you can do out there related to HR. And, it's imperative that you also keep working on upskilling yourself. Canada is a very unique and a very dynamic market. And a lot of employers value if you have any local certifications and if you've done any local programs. So be open to pursuing certifications or courses which are relevant to your industry. I think institutions like LinkedIn Learning, Coursera, and local colleges and universities also offer a lot of great options. So focus on those also. And again, there are lots of resources for newcomers. So, services like ACCESS Employment, YMCA, Achieve, and lots of settlement agencies. I think there are almost more than 300 agencies all over Ontario that you can explore that offer job search support and settlement services. So make sure that you are in touch with one of these employment agencies. There are lots of programs for language improvement and workplace integration. Those are highly valuable as well. And again, Google is your best friend. So go on Google and you'll find lots and lots of information about all these resources. Organizations like TRIAC also offer mentorship programs. So if you can find a mentor during your job search journey, then there's nothing like it. So try and find, some mentor. Again, organizations like TRIAC mentorship programs. We pair newcomers with industry professionals through TRIAC. Again, ACCESS Employment also has a speed mentoring program where we'll try and pair you with mentors in your industry. Again, because a mentor can provide valuable guidance and connections. And research employers committed to hiring diverse candidates. So a lot of employers are focusing a lot on DEI initiatives. So do research about the employers that are interested in hiring diverse professionals. So those are the employers that you could show interest in and, should be on your radar if you're looking for jobs. Lastly, I would say stay persistent and positive. I know it can be daunting when you are doing job search. I was an immigrant myself a couple of years ago, and I know how hard it can be, but trust me when I say this, that you will eventually get what you're looking for. You just need to persevere. Keep a spreadsheet of job applications, deadlines, and responses. Follow up with employers after interviews or application submissions. Again, if you get a rejection, don't take it personally. Take it as a feedback. Use it as an opportunity to adjust your approach wherever it's necessary. And again, if when you get a call for an interview, or when you land an interview, acknowledge that milestone. It's a great achievement if you get an interview. And again, it's a great opportunity for you to also connect with the recruiter or to expand your network. You need to remember that every step forward is progress, and perseverance is key to reaching your goals. I encourage you to apply these strategies consistently and adapt them to your unique situation. Always remember that you're not alone in this journey. There are hundreds of resources, hundreds of support systems that are out there that are available to help you succeed. So you're not alone, right? Right. These are some of the locations that ACCESS Employment has offices in. We are located in 7 locations. HRC team or Human Resources Connection team sits out of Brampton office at 44 Peel Center Drive. So if you ever want to meet one of us, feel free to come to our office. We'll be happy to speak with you. These are our funders and supporters. And this is the contact information for me. My name is Adipika Manglik. I'm the employment consultant for Human Resources Connections Program at ACCESS Employment. This is my email ID, amanglik@accessemployment.ca. And you can also go on ACCESS Employment website, www.accessemployment.ca, to learn more about our programs and services that we offer. Thank you so much. And I think we'll open the floor now for questions.
Thank you so much, Aditika. Thank you so much, Michelle, for all that great information. We do have a few questions trickling in. An attendee has asked, can they apply with just 1 year of experience to this program?
Okay. Can I answer this, Michelle? Do you want to?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So what I would say is, I would recommend that you send out your application. We will start with the information session soon. You can go on our website to find out when we are going to have our first information session. And during the information session, we'll share a lot more information about the eligibility criteria. I would recommend that you come for the information session. And once you come for the information session, you'll get the link to apply for the program. So feel free to send your application across. We'll look at your application holistically, and then we'll take a decision. It's hard for us to say whether or not 1 year is enough. We look at everything in your application before we take a decision.
Okay. Another question, Ditika, is about how often does the program run? And does this program only run within Ontario or other provinces as well?
Yeah, I'll take this one. So we normally run the program 4 times a year. We haven't released our 2025 dates as yet, but we do run the program several times through year. It's specifically for Ontario. So it's not offered in the other provinces because it is an Ontario-specific program. So we do accept clients within the Greater Toronto area. Because it's been online, we do have some in-program days. So you do need to be in the city. And because when we do our job development or outreach to employers, it's within the GTA as well.
Right. Another attendee asks, are these programs available online or in person only?
We have a hybrid model. Majority of it is online. The HR Connection is 7 weeks long. It is a full-time program from 9:30 to 4. But there are at least 3 days that are in person in our Brampton office.
Right. Someone else has asked if you have no HR experience, what do you do? But you want to get into the field as someone without HR experience, basically, can they join this program?
If you want to take this question, Michelle.
Okay.
So
go ahead.
No, go ahead, Michelle. Go ahead.
It's meant for the HR Connections program is meant for those that are already HR professionals. It's not a program meant for career transitioning. It's for those that are HR professionals looking to get into the HR field in Ontario. But we do, for example, we have other programs. For example, for women, if you the career professionals for women, the CPMW program.
CPNW program, yes. Career pathways.
Yeah, we'll take many different, so long as you are a newcomer women, for example, or we have our General Employment Ontario programs that is general job seekers, so it's open for everyone. Okay, so we do have other options for individuals that are not has a 3 years or 2 years experience, but can go to other programs.
Right. I think that's all the questions we have for the ACCES team for now, but I'm sure you are going to be flooded with a lot of queries. If we haven't been able to answer your questions on the live chat, I'd highly recommend everybody get in touch with either Michelle or Aditika. They will put in their email contact details in the chat. This recording will also be, this entire presentation will also be available on our website and all our social platforms. So if there are any questions, please feel free to get in touch with both Michelle or Aditika, and also reach out to us at info@canadianimmigrant.ca. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Baisakhi.
Yes.
And we shall swiftly move on to our next speaker. Next to join us from the Human Resources Professionals Association, we have Nicolette Holness, Early Career Specialist, and Rina Trong, Regulatory Process Specialist. So Nicolette and Rina will be speaking on tips and advice on will be giving us tips and advice on how to be more visible to employers in the Canadian job market. As a reminder to all those who logged in, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat by clicking the chat or the Q&A button, and we will answer them after the presentation. We will get to as many as possible on the live session. You can also, of course, email us at info@canadianimmigrant.ca. With that, Nicolette and Rina, over to you.
Thank you so much for that introduction. Greatly appreciated. I'm just going to share my screen really quickly with our presentation. Alrighty, so thank you everyone for having us. So like I mentioned, my name is Nicolette Holness. I am the Early Career Specialist with HRPA, which is the Human Resource Professional Association. So the HRPA is the Human Resource Professional Association, which regulates and supports over 23,000 professionals and students across 7 chapters throughout Ontario. The HRPA is Ontario's regulator as well as their association, and we offer learning opportunities, resources, as well as a community of peers that strengthen HR professionals' practice. So HRPA as a regulatory body promotes and protects the public interest by setting standards for human resources professionals. We ensure that only competent and ethical professionals are allowed into the profession. Once in, we ensure that members and students continue to maintain their competence and practice their profession in a way that minimizes the risk to this public. We do this by providing the best in-class professional development opportunities to help HR leaders develop advanced skills. We deal with members and students who fail to live up to the standards of the profession. We foster a vibrant community of tens of thousands of professionals that are dedicated to elevating the HR profession, and we manage relations with stakeholders in such a way as to develop and maintain public confidence in the regulation of the HR profession. So HRPA does this by offering various designations. So we offer 3 designations that validate HR professionals' capabilities. The 3 designations are the CHRP designation, the Certified Human Resource Professional, the CHRL designation, which is the Certified Human Resource Leader, as well as the CHRE designation, which is the Certified Human Resource executive designation. These designations allow you to earn more than non-designated practitioners, allow you the ability to get promoted in faster paces, as well as enjoy an expanded variety of career options. Once you obtain any of our designations, you will also be participating in what we refer to as continuing professional development, or CPD. You have to obtain a minimum of 66.67 CPD hours every 3 years in order to maintain your designation in good standing. So the CPD hours can be obtained in a variety of ways. It can be through continuing education, volunteer activities, instructional activities, completion of work projects, as well as various initiatives or researches and publications. So we're going to talk a bit about the 3 designations and what they entail. So the Certified Human Resource Professional designation is the entry-level designation. It is intended for HR professionals that are in roles that are more administrative in nature, such as a contributing role in a larger HR function or a sole HR practitioner role within a small HR function. And now the Certified Human Resource Leader designation can be found in either specialist or generalist positions with responsibilities such as managing projects, programs, and initiatives, as well as implementing plans that are passed down by senior management, as well as delegating tasks to entry-level staff. Now, the CHRE designation is the executive level designation. HR professionals at this level are senior professionals such as consultants with a high level of experience and responsibilities such as leading the HR function in large organizations, developing and executing significant HR projects, as well as having responsibility for HR strategies in support of long-term organizational goals. So these are the 3 different tiers of designations that we offer. However, all of our designations are not stepping stones. So you are not need a prerequisite of CHRP in order to get the CHRL or CHRL in order to get the CHRE. You can achieve whichever designation you are at the level at. So why should you get designated? So having your designation definitely has an impact on your salary. So the screen here shows the salary comparison from designated to non-designated individuals for the same role. And on average, there's about 10K higher salary for individuals with an HRPA designation into comparison to those without a designation. The designations also have an impact on your career progression. So this screen shows the percentage of individuals with designations that were promoted within a 5-year period in comparison to those without a designation. And individuals with a designation are more likely to be promoted in a variety of roles, whether it's entry-level roles to senior-level roles. So we're going to touch upon the designation process now. We're going to talk about it on a high-level pace because we have a limited amount of time today. So the first step in getting either your CHRP or your CHRL designation is to be a registered member with HRPA. So registration with HRPA is one step to getting your designation, and it does provide you with a variety of benefits once you become a member. And you will have access to these benefits as soon as you're a member, even before going through the designation process and achieving any of these designations. And we'll talk about the benefits of joining HRPA in a bit. But registering and becoming a member is the first step to getting any designation with HRPA. The second step is completing the coursework requirement. So there are 9 courses that you have to achieve, 9 HR courses that you have to achieve 65% or higher in each of the 9 courses, and a 70% overall throughout the 9 courses. So the next slide, I'm going to show you all the 9 courses. So these 9 courses are what is required to have 65% or higher in. They are offered in most HR programs, and they are available through various post-secondary institutions in Ontario. So once you've completed the coursework requirement, you will then submit the transcript you have over to HRPA. HRPA will assess the transcript, and then they will say that you are approved to write your knowledge exam. If any of these courses you have less than 65% on your transcript, you are able to do what is called a challenge exam. The challenge exams are available for any of these 9 courses. They are $220 plus tax in order to do the challenge exams. And as long as you score 65% or higher on the challenge exam, it will cover any score on your transcript that is below 65%. And you're able to do as many challenge exams for these 9 courses as needed. So once you've completed the coursework requirement, you will then complete the knowledge exam based on which designation that you will be doing. So there's a CHRP knowledge exam as well as a CHRL knowledge exam. Once you've passed and completed the knowledge exam, you will then be approved to write the employment law exam. Again, there are 2 employment law exams, one for CHRP or CHRL, depending which route you decide to go. And then there is, once you've completed both exams, for CHRP designation, you will have to complete what is called a Job Ready program. The Job Ready program is a free 4-hour online course that discusses professionalism and ethics, as well as what it means to be a part of a HR professional regulatory body. For the CHRL designation, it has 2 additional requirements that the CHRP does not require. The CHRL has a degree requirement. You need a bachelor's degree or higher. It does not need to be in HR, and we do accept international degrees as long as they have been accredited. And the CHRL designation also requires 3 years of professional level HR work experience. For the last 2 requirements for the CHRL, you have 15 years from the date that you have completed your exams to obtain the additional requirements. So 15 years from the date that you've completed your exams to obtain all the requirements for the CHRL. And in the process of getting the CHRL, you'll be designated at the CHRP level until you have received all of the requirements for the CHRL. So those are just the 2 paths to getting your CHRP and CHRL designation. The next slide, we're going to talk about, I'm going to pass it over to Rena, and Rena will be discussing the alternate routes that are available as well to get through your designation process. Over to you, Rena.
Thank you for that. So essentially is that the other option to passing the course requirement is the alternate route. So a total of 50 points approved is required to be successful in this stream. And there are 2 types of applications for the alternate route. There's the alternate route academic stream and the alternate route experience stream. So the alternate route academic stream, it involves education and HR designations. If one holds a Canadian or Canadian equivalency to a master's degree or PhD with a major in HR or industrial relations, they would be approved for the 50 points. For non-Canadian degrees, we do require an assessment report from an education credentialing body, for example, such as WES, IQAS, ICES, etc. And the credentialing body would need to email the report directly to HRPA for review. As well, the SPHR or SPHRI designation from HRCI and the chartered member of CIPD designation would be accepted and valid for 50 points. One can also earn points for holding an approved HR-related designation. So the list can be found on the application appendix, and these designations are valid for 10 or 20 points. And finally, if one completes any of the 9 required courses in HR that Nicolette had mentioned from the approved list and meets the required minimum grade level of 65% minimum, then the course is valid for 5 points per course. So in the end, if one has approved 50 points, which can be through a combination of ways, then they would pass the coursework requirement to give them eligibility to write the knowledge exam. Okay, and the final option is the alternate route experience stream. So this is for those who have HR experience and would like to have it assessed by the Experience Assessment Committee. So this stream allows for a combination of points from HR approved courses, HR designations, and HR experience. In order to qualify to have one's application reviewed by the committee, it must hold at least 50 points. The experience must have been acquired from the last 10 years, and one must meet recency, which is include at least 3 months of HR experience from the last 2 years. The experience must be in the scope of practice of HR and must be at a professional level. So to better understand the assessment criteria, we do suggest that they do take a look at the alternate route guide and the guide for assessors, which are both found on the website under the alternate route section. For the experience application, we require the following documents: the application form, a chronological resume, a job description for each position that's being included in the application, and an organization chart for each position. We do have monthly submission deadlines, which is always the last business day of each month. The only exception is for the month of December due to the holidays. So anything that's submitted during the month of December and January automatically get added to the end of January batch. And for results, these are emailed approximately 8 to 10 weeks from the deadline date of the deadline the individual is submitting for. And in the end, so applicants have three choices as to how they wish to pass the course requirement. So either through the course by course approach, by completing all 9 HR courses, or the alternate route academic stream, or the alternate route experience stream. So now over to Nicolette.
Rena. Okay, so now we're going to go into some of the benefits of joining the HRPA Association as a whole. And like I had mentioned earlier, these are benefits that you will have access to as soon as you join and become a member, even prior to obtaining your CHRP or CHRL designations. So one of the benefits is HRPA's Higher Authority, which is the exclusive job board for HRPA members and students. This job board has pretty much all the HR roles available, not all of them, but has a lot of HR roles available on this job board. And it's really a really good resource to use because employers that are posting on this job board are really looking for individuals that are dedicated to the HR profession, that are working towards their HR designation, as well as individuals that are committed to keeping up to date with HR standards and trends. Posting on this job board or applying for jobs on this job board also allows you to compete with a smaller pool of applicants than you would for roles on different job boards such as Indeed and LinkedIn, where you're competing with thousands of applicants per role. On this job board, you would only be competing with HRPA members and students. There are quite a bit of chapter benefits that you will receive by joining as well. So you will have access to our professional development. So we do offer a variety of workshops and conferences, as well as a variety of certificate and executive programs, webinars, and e-learning. So we do have quite a few touching upon AI and HR, as well as the DEI initiatives that are going on. We do have a variety of networking opportunities, so access to online communities, which is a very interesting resource. I do go in there quite a bit, and I see a lot of HR professionals having various conversations about various topics that are relevant to their profession. So I seen a very interesting topic the other day about an HR professional asking other HR professionals for advice on how to get some employees to return to work in the office. She was having some pushback from her employees and was interested in hearing what other HR professionals, what types of advice or policies other HR professionals had implemented. And then there was also another really interesting discussion of a talent acquisition individual had requested some advice from other HR professionals about a employee that she recently hired on. The employee was only hired for about 1 month, and she recently mentioned that she is pregnant and will be going on maternity leave soon. So it was quite some spicy topics that happen in the online communities there. Can be very helpful when you are entering the Canadian business context. There are a variety of chapter networking events. So like the previous presenter had mentioned, opportunities for you to do your elevator pitches, opportunities for you to make resources within the HR industry, make contacts on your LinkedIn and things like that. Our networking events would be a great opportunity for you to do that at. We do also have a mentorship program that is available through our website. So the mentorship program does match you up with HR professional mentors with lots of experience, lots of connections, ability to help you throughout your designation process, provide you with resources and things like that. Mentors can be very helpful for those resources. We do offer a variety of volunteer opportunities to volunteer within our HRPA committees as well as our boards. We do have chapter event volunteers, so a lot of times individuals do like to volunteer at our networking events and work at the sign-in table to register the HR professionals that attend, figure out what companies they work at, what positions they're in, etc. We do have our HR professionals that volunteer to do student coffee chats with our HRPA student members as well. And there's always a variety of volunteer opportunities available. We do have a variety of resources and tools that you will have access to from being a member as well. So the Knowledge Bank does have a variety of policy templates and standard templates that are very useful when you are joining the industry. We do have a Level Up program that is available that does offer a variety of DEI programs, AI and HR, quite a few different learnings in there, as well as exam prep tools. So we do offer paid practice exams that are available, as well as a paid exam prep course that will help you with the knowledge exam, as well as the employment law exam, as well as webinars on our website as well. The webinars are free, and the webinars are for individuals that want to see what the exam formats look like. So the Office of the Registrar does break down the exam format, and we do offer webinars from top scorers. So individuals that have done the exams in the past and scored very highly, they talk about what resources they utilize in order to obtain that high score on their exams. HRPA does have a few partners and exclusive offers that you have access to as well. So once you become a member, you will get 30% off of your Good Life Gym membership. You can receive 10% off of Compliance Works, which is a employment law website that kind of breaks down the Employment Standards Act into plain language summaries, breaks down the employment legislation, also provides you up-to-date real-time alerts about any employment law changes as well. We do have member perks that provides you with access to over 1,200 brand names and discounts from local vendors. We do have ProLink as well, which provides you with discount rates on home and auto insurance as well. So the Mentor Match program that I had mentioned is available through our website. It is offered through a self-identified questionnaire, which you will identify your employment goals or what you are specifically looking for in a mentor. And then it will match you with a mentor that is a great fit for you. Mentors are 20% more likely to get a pay increase than individuals that are not mentoring, and mentees are 5 times more likely to be promoted than their coworkers. So the Mentor Match program can be a very valuable resource to individuals that are new to the country that may be looking for some assistance or guidance. Alrighty, and how do you get started? How do you register with HRPA? So our registration runs annually, so you have to register. You can register at any time in the year. Our fees are prorated based on the month that you register. We do have special rates for internationally educated professionals, so IEPs. So anyone that has been in Canada for under 2 years will have a IEP rate that is available. And individuals that are been in Canada for over 2 years, you would register as a practitioner. And we do have a discount code for practitioners as well. The discount code is on the screen here. It is new member 15, and that provides you with 15% off of the practitioner rate for the year. And then last but not least is just our contact information. So if there's any questions that we weren't able to answer you here, or if we needed any follow-up details, please do reach out to us and provide us with any details or ask us any questions that you may have. But we can open up the floor now to any questions.
Thank you so much, Nicolette. That was very, very informative. Thank you, Rina, as well. We have one question about someone's asking, where can someone find a checklist of things to submit for the alternative route, I think, which Rina discussed in her presentation, not sure. So yeah, a checklist that would be, if one such exists.
Yeah, it's not so much a checklist, but the alternate route application, and there's also the alternate route guide, all on the website. It does indicate like all the documents, the supporting documents that are needed in order to be able to apply and to submit your application. So I can reiterate those again, is that if it is for the alternate route experience application you are referring to, then there is that application for the experience stream. There's a chronological resume that needs to be submitted, and the chronological resume should include like details about the position, not just like the statement of, that this is the position you held for so and so time. And then also we need a job description. So that job description should be submitted for each of the positions that are being included in the assessment in the application. And then also a redacted organization chart should be included for each of the positions. And essentially is that for the organization chart, it should indicate the reporting structure of the HR department for the company. So essentially just referring back to the application and also the guides that are available for that specific application.
Right. There's another one that says, what role does a certification such as the CHRP play in career advancement in HR? What difference does that make?
So as you're starting to look at job descriptions, you're going to notice on the job descriptions that it will say CHRP or CHRL required or an asset. So it's going to definitely help you stand out from the competition when you are applying for roles, and it will definitely help you with your career progression as well when you are looking for promotions and you're competing with individuals that may not have that designation.
Right. Also, it's a bit of a general question, but it says, how can professionals, first of all, they're asking, are there any resources in the HRP community? And how can professionals effectively use these resources to increase their visibility in the job market?
Can you repeat the first part of that question again?
It says, how can, I'll paraphrase, how can professionals effectively use HRPA's community or resources to increase their visibility in the job market?
Yeah, definitely. So, like we had mentioned earlier, the networking events. So the networking events are very key. A lot of times to attending these events, that's kind of how you access the hidden job market, like we like to refer to, because a lot of times you can connect with an individual at one of our networking events, and maybe you will have access to a position that has not even been posted yet by just being able to connect with that individual at one of the networking events. So I'll definitely utilize the networking events for sure. I have seen individuals post to online communities to look for example, maybe volunteer positions within an organization or things like that as well.
Right. We have one more question. What is the difference between knowledge exams and employment law exam? Also, how often are the exams conducted in a year?
Yeah, so the knowledge exam is based off of the 9 subject areas that we had discussed, and the employment law exam is based off the Employment Standards Act. The exams are offered twice a year in the fall and in the spring.
That's great. I think that's all we have right now. Unless I'm just going to give it 1 second to see. Sometimes you just have this rush of, at the end of the presentation, there's lots of information to collate, and I'm sure people are going through their notes. So I'm going to give it a couple of seconds.
I just wanted to mention at the end of this session, I will be emailing Michelle a whole bunch of direct links that will definitely help them out because I know it's a wealth of information that everybody's obtaining today. So I will send out a lot of links directly to everything that we discussed today. So like the specific link to alternate route that Rena discussed, the link to the course work/school lookup tool so they're able to look up if there's any courses that maybe they're just missing one. You can find out which schools around Ontario offer that course that they're looking for. There will be a variety of different links to the validation of experience application as well. If they're going the CHRL route, there will be quite a few different links that will help them because I know our website's a little bit difficult to navigate at times. So when you're looking for something specific, so I'll give them all the direct links and then they can validate their experience to the links that we send. And if there's any other questions, more specific to their experiences, they can reach out to us directly.
Sounds great. Thank you so much again, Nicolette, and thank you so much, Rena, for this amazing information. A reminder to all our attendees, if you missed anything and if you've just joined or you have questions for either Nicolette or Rena, do feel free to reach out to directly either to them or to us at info@canadianimmigrant.ca. Thank you again. We swiftly move on to our final presentation for the afternoon today. And this is an interesting one. This is if you've ever considered a career as a change management practitioner. To address this, we are thrilled to have Ruthann Boyd, ProSci certified change architect and professor at Seneca. As a reminder, if you have any questions for either us or for Ruthann Boyd, please feel free to type them in the chat or by clicking on the Q&A button. It's on the right side. Your chat button is on the right side of the screen. We will answer them after the presentation. And you can also email us as usual at info@canadianimmigrant.ca. Thank you again. And Ruthann, over to you.
Hey, amazing. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here, excited to share with you. And it's great to see so many people on the call. Let me try sharing my screen here and get this going for you guys. Let's see if we can get the right screen up here. Hopefully you can see my presentation. Saki, can you just confirm that you're okay with that? Can you see that?
Yep, all good. We can see it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, everybody. All right. So first of all, again, thank you for the opportunity to come here today to share. Thank you to Canadian Immigrant and to Metroland Media for inviting me. Such an exciting topic, at least for me anyway. So I'm here today to talk to you about a career as a change management practitioner. And, as I go through today, you're probably going to have some questions. They're very much welcome. Okay, so your questions are welcome. And as they mentioned, please go ahead and put them into the chat. And we will do our very, very best to answer as many of them as we can at the end of the presentation. So let's dive in. First of all, a little bit about me. So I am a leading Canadian change management practitioner. And we'll dive into what that is. But I'm also a digital communications professional. So I look after sort of print and electronic, or, all that digital kind of media stuff. And I'm also an educator. So I'm a professor with Seneca Polytechnique. And so really excited to be here today to talk a little bit about what OCM or change management is. Basically, I am considered one of the top ProSci certified change architects in Canada. I've been, 25 plus years in financial services, retail, government, lately playing for the last few years in the mergers and acquisition space and in B2B and B2C retails. I've done many industry firsts, collected about 12 awards now for my work, so super excited about that. I'm one of only 3 Canadian plain language experts. So I love to kind of take complex and technical stuff and make it easy for people to understand. I earned my Bachelor in Business Administration from Yorkville, and I just finished like last Sunday my master's in education. So I'm really happy to have that behind me. Okay, so did you know that there's more change now in the workplace, in organizations, than there ever has been before in history? Ever before. Like, the pace of change is crazy. But why? So that's because organizations today face many, many threats. They also face many opportunities. But, you know, today's connected sort of technology world that we live in, it presents a lot of opportunities and threats, right, for organizations. And so in order to keep up with all the threats or to leverage the opportunities, they have to create change, right? They have to implement change. So here's some interesting facts for you about what's happening in the workplace. Cybercrime. Did you know that by the end of 2025, the cost of cybercrime globally will top 10.5 trillion US dollars. That's trillion with a T. And that's as per the World Economic Forum. So pretty reliable source there. There will be, by 2025, okay, there will be 3.5 million unfilled cybersecurity positions. Okay, so it's huge cyber skills shortage on the work front. From a technology advancement standpoint, you know, we live in a technology world, right? Everything is technology. Our children and our grandchildren are going to grow up with sort of devices, you know, a lot of them in their hand and all that stuff. But they're coming faster and faster, right? Technology is changing faster than it ever has before, and it's not going to slow down. Stolen employee credentials. Did you know that 68% of breaches that happen within an organization are because they used an employee's stolen credentials to breach the organization? And really exciting in terms of generative artificial intelligence, or AI, as we sort of hear it referred to, that AI is being used more and more every single day to create more personalized, to create smarter, and other social engineering, like just doing all kinds of interesting stuff. Like, it's crazy. And fun fact for you, Microsoft in the US has already started using generative AI to build their applications. So then maybe the next version of Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, or something like that will have been built with artificial intelligence instead of by a person. So there's a ton of stuff happening. There's, you know, but the bottom line is that change is very constant. It's very, very fast, and it's not going to slow down anytime soon. So I wanted to share a quick video with you, and I'm really hoping you're going to be able to hear the sound. So let me just play this for you. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. Let me know, though.
What his organization desperately needs is change. Easily erasable. Gallon whiteboard markers.
Awesome. So that, honestly, that video makes me laugh every single time, every time. Just a short but quick thing on why we need change, on a lighter note anyway. But let's be honest, you know, nobody really likes change, according to Nick Nolte, right? It's a famous American actor. But there will always be resistance to change, and there will always be change. So just kind of a fun little fact for you. And that's why we need change management professionals, or practitioners. And thus the topic of today's presentation. We need them to support people through the people side of change, right? But what exactly is change management? What is it, though? Because most people don't really know what it is. Change management is really the application of a structured process and a set of tools for leading people, or for leading the people side of change to a desired outcome, right? So you might have heard the term, or you might have worked with in the past, a project manager. Well, a project manager looks after the project, so the plan and the schedule and keeping everybody on track, and the change management professional looks after the people side of a change. And that's really the difference. Okay, but why do we need to focus on people? Why do we even care about what happens to people through change? Well, we do, because the reality is that change affects people in so many ways in the workplace. It affects our day-to-day work. You know, it could mean a change to where we work. It could mean a change to the processes we use, to the systems or the tools we use. Maybe our job responsibilities or our job role is changing. Maybe the amount we're going to get paid is changing. Maybe how we're going to be reviewed, our performance is changing. Lots of different types of changes that all affect people. They impact people. Okay. So during change as well, something to think about, interestingly enough, did you know that people go through a range of emotions as they're being introduced to a change? I was really surprised by this, that there are so many emotions that someone could go through. But it's another reason why we need to support the people side of change with a change management practitioner, because they're going to go through everything ranging from shock, denial, frustration. You notice the curve is going up, so it's getting worse. Okay, now I'm depressed. Okay, maybe I'll start experimenting. My mind is opening up a little bit. All right, fine. I've made a decision. I'm gonna accept this, and I'm gonna learn how to work with the new situation. And then finally, I get to integration or implementation. So we're gonna go through all these emotions, and people need to be supported through those. But how do we focus on the people side of the change? That's the job of a change management practitioner. So a change management practitioner, a change practitioner, an OCM, you maybe hear it called that, is really a professional who specializes in guiding and managing the process of organizational change using a structured approach, right? So we talked about it being a structured approach. We talked about it using tools. We talked about it focusing on people. So what we essentially do, what our day-to-day, sort of life looks like, is we do work with leaders and the people who are impacted by a change to drive successful change adoption. So that means we want everyone to start working in new ways, thinking in new ways, and really fully adopt and embrace and love the change that we're introducing. We assess change impacts. So we look at who's going to be impacted by this and just how. And how can we come up with a strategy to really support people through change? We develop change strategies. So who's impacted in what way, and what can we do? Can we share some information? Do they need some training? How do we support people? We engage people in the change. So we use lots of different ways, social media and communications through email, team lead, town halls, team huddles, all kinds of things to engage people in the change and get them excited. We develop role-based activities. So we do all of our change strategies and all of our activities by role. So we might take HR people and we might do one sort of specific bunch of activities for them versus, say, maybe the technology folks or the customer service folks. We remove barriers to change. So we listen with our heart to what people are telling us, listen to concerns, and we remove barriers. We monitor our progress along the way. So we collect feedback, we monitor, and then we adjust, right? We tweak our approach if we're not doing a good job. And you know what? We don't always. Sometimes we need to change ourselves. And we drive sustainable change over the long term. And that's really what we do as a change management practitioner. Success as a change management practitioner really requires a diverse skill set. And you could be reading through this list quickly now and thinking to yourself, gosh, I have those, so many of those skills. So you should consider a job as a change management practitioner. But what are some of those skills? So first of all, you need some change management expertise, some education in change management and some expertise And you would be surprised. I'm always surprised. When I share with people, they're always surprised at, gosh, I do a lot of those things already. I already do change management. And we'll talk a little bit about that. And you're going to see that perhaps you're already doing it. You just don't even realize. But communication. So you need to be good at communication, right? You need to have some communication skills. Stakeholder management. So remember, I talked about identifying the people impacted by a change. Well, we call them stakeholders. And you need skills like good listening, opening your heart, being there for people, supporting people, like just being able to be there and support people is called stakeholder management. Some strategic planning skills, some good emotional intelligence. Because you know what? There's highs and lows in change management. Sometimes it goes really well and it's amazing and we ride the high and it's great. Sometimes it's challenging. So some good emotional intelligence to get us through. And we need some good problem solving skills, right? So earlier, one of the presenters talked about those soft skills. This is an example of soft skills, right? Problem solving. Another soft skill, analytical thinking. So you need that. Perhaps you already have that. Some cultural awareness. So really just getting into the organization and understanding the culture. What works here? What doesn't? And let's tweak our approach. Some good coaching and mentoring skills would be amazing. I love my role. I am a mentor to Bachelor of Business Administration students, and I absolutely love wrapping my arm around their shoulder and saying, I've got you. We're going to walk this journey together. So that's what I do as a change management practitioner. And also some project management skills are very useful to have. So now to some really exciting stats for you guys. I know you're going to be excited about this. Are there any opportunities to get a job in Canada as a change management practitioner? Well, here's the great news. Did you know that there is a massive shortage of change management practitioners in Canada right now? Here's some stats. From November 2023 to November 2024, there were 299,159 job postings in Canada for a change manager. Pretty shocking, right? Like, wow, what kind of an opportunity is that? And I will tell you from my experience and from what I've seen that there are probably about somewhere between 10 and 25 open roles for every one person, for every one change practitioner in Canada. So massive shortage, right? Like we need more trained and like educated and trained with experience change management practitioners in Canada. So it's an amazing opportunity. So that's the first one. The next one, a stat I have for you. They include those postings that I just talked about. They include full-time and contract positions. Interestingly enough, some people prefer full-time roles. Other people like contract, and I'll show you why. So some people like the thought of a full-time role, a little bit more secure, right? You're there over the longer term. You probably get some benefits, vacation time, that kind of stuff. It's kind of cool, right? Average salary in Canada right now for a change management practitioner, so just average, is 70,000. So they start about 50, 60,000, and you can range all the way up to about 100,000, 120,000 for a change management practitioner. But what about contract? So I actually focus solely on contracts. I go from one project to another, one change project, one change initiative to the next. And I just support projects, change initiatives. And a change management practitioner working on contract in Canada today ranges anywhere, gets paid anywhere from $60 an hour to $125 an hour. So there's some incredible benefits to working on contract. If you can stand it, right? You have to be able to stand a little bit, be able to sort of withhold or temper or be able to handle, maybe you're not going to have another contract in 6 months. But hopefully the amount you make allows you to have a bit of a breather and it's okay. but the pay range for contractors is incredible. So if you're doing any quick calculation, or if you whipped out your calculator right now and you calculated the annual income of a change management practitioner making $125 an hour, it works out to about $250,000 a year. So it is an incredible career to have. It can be very, very lucrative. And again, there's a ton of full-time roles. There's a ton of contract roles, pretty evenly split across the two. Full-time comes with lots of perks and lots of things, and people like the, stability of full-time, and that's great. Other people say, nah, I'm going to ride the wave. I'm going to, make more money, and it's okay if I'm off a little bit because I can make more money. So I like the variety of contract. I get to work on a new project all the time. So I really like it. So, but it's up to you, whatever sort of you prefer. So are you ready to be one of Canada's next change management practitioners? Awesome. Where do you start? The first step is to get trained, right? You need to get educated about what change management is and how to go about being a change management practitioner. You need to understand what we do on a daily basis, how to use the tools, the processes, the techniques you need to get. And so, you need to learn those skills, right? Including those soft skills that I was talking about before. So I have some great news for you. The Center for Executive and Professional Learning at Seneca Polytechnique has a program to help you get started as a change management practitioner. So whether you're just starting out, maybe you're just starting your career, you've never done any change management before, or maybe you have actually done some change management and you can see it's sort of, links and similarities to some of the work that you've done. The Change Management and Innovation Executive Certificate Program might be just for you. It's an excellent place to start, and I definitely recommend that you dig in. Now, I believe, I can't see the chat because I'm sharing my screen, but I believe that the moderators, the hosts today, are going to be sharing this link with you that you can see on my screen. This is a link to the actual Center for Professional and Executive Learning. Sorry about that. Sorry about my slide. Let me just get back here. Don't touch my screen. That's what happens. One sec. I'm just going to go back. Apologies, guys. So anyway, I believe that they're going to be sharing the link with you in the chat so that you can go to the Center for Executive and Professional Learning at Seneca Polytechnique. All the information is available about the Executive Certificate on Change Management and Innovation right on that page. But let me tell you a little bit about it so you know what to expect when you do get the link and you are able to go there. So the Change Management and Executive Certificate program or Executive Certificate is a 3-course, and each course being 5 weeks. So each course is 5 weeks. There are 3 courses in the program, and it totals 15 weeks. So not too bad at all, right? Basically, almost just, I guess, 1 week short of 4 months, you can be a change management sort of educated professional and have that to add to your resume, add to your LinkedIn profile, and be able to secure, go for and get interviewed, right? Apply for jobs as a change management practitioner. So as I said, there are 3 courses. In the first course, so you can see the 3 courses on your screen there. In the first course, it's called the Change Management and Innovation Foundations. So it's just what you can imagine with the word foundations in the course name. At 5 weeks, what we basically do in the course is we go through what is change management, what kinds of skills do you need, how do adults learn differently than young people do, because that's really important. Adults learn differently, so you need to know that. We go through some change management models, some really popular models and frameworks, and we teach you what basically is available to you to use during your change projects. And then we spend the whole 5 weeks working iteratively, week after week, on helping you build an actual change management plan and strategy for a real project. So we encourage our students, our participants, to bring an actual project with you to the course and work on that project. And by the time you're done the 5 weeks, you'll have an actual strategy that you can use back at work. So you get real experience, real hands-on experience developing change management strategy in the first course. In the second course, it's really, really cool because you're going to use an online AI-based simulator to actually work through real change management projects competitively with your classmates. So you'll participate in simulations, you'll get scores and feedback from the simulator, and you'll be able to compete in an actual change management projects and get real-time feedback as you go through. It's really, really neat. It's a Harvard-based simulator, so it's super cool to participate in that. In the final course called Change Management and Innovation Capstone Project, you get access to an actual project that's actually current and is available right now. And working in groups or teams, you will work through that project and be able to come up with a solution to a real-time project. And again, there is the link. Now, the next program starts on March 19th, 2025. So just a few short months away. The registration's open now though, so I encourage you to go to the page, check it out. But let's say you say, you know what, I need more information. You can get more information. We have an information session coming up on February the 26th at 12 p.m. There is a link to the information session and the registration page right on the Seneca page, the link that we shared earlier. And I encourage you to please come out and join us. And now I'm going to open it up to questions. So I'm going to throw it back over to the moderators and our hosts to let me know about what questions do we have, because I would love to answer them.
Right. Thank you, first of all, Ruth Ann, I think I myself do not know the intricacies of a change management practitioner, especially the point that you mentioned about just having so much empathy and having so much people connectedness. And those kind of skills are so much more, well, if not more than as important as the educational qualifications to do such a job. Actually, right off the bat, we have a question that's very is exactly what we were talking about. How can organizations balance the need for innovation and transformation with the preservation of their core values and culture, ensuring sustainable change without losing their identity?
Oh, that's a great question. My goodness. Look at that powerhouse question.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the fact. Like I talked about at the beginning, organizations face many, many, many risks and opportunities, and they face it all the time. It's something that, to stay competitive and to stay in business, they have to change, right? Yeah. So they're constantly looking at what opportunities are in front of us, what risks are in front of us, and they have to balance it with their culture, right? We have to, in change management practitioner, what they do is they work to bring people along the journey. So think of it as a culture shift or supporting people through the change. It's about working with people, putting people first to meet those sustainability, those growth goals of the organization, but doing it in a way that, remember what I said, puts our arm around people and supports people through it, right? So it is a definite balance, but we do it with the help of change management practitioners.
Right. We have someone asking for entry-level business analysts. Is this program beneficial?
Oh, yes. So the target student or target sort of audience or target, whatever you want to call it, for this program. So you could be anything from a human resources practitioner to a business analyst to a project manager or a consultant, or there's all kinds of roles, right? You could be a product owner, a product manager. There's all kinds of roles. And what I find working in the industry is that people come to me all the time and they say, listen, RA, what do I do? Oh, by the way, everybody calls me RA, but you can too. But yeah, RA, what do I do? I've been asked to support a change, or no, the leader just came to me, my leader, and they asked me to lead this change. Where do I start? And it was like, you know what? the best place I recommend that they start is by getting educated and get that sort of those credentials behind you. And that Seneca Polytechnique program, their certificate program, is an excellent, excellent program for a BA or anybody else who sort of has been asked to support or lead a change in the workplace.
Makes sense. Another question is, if my organization is going through change, but there isn't a position like this in the company, how can we make them aware that these professionals are needed, this person is actually needed?
Oh, that's awesome. So when I was, a few years ago, I was at an organization where we were going through a lot of change. And not only, I noticed that we were losing not only a lot of clients, but our employees were also walking out the door. And so I actually created a proposal. This was a medium-sized firm, created a proposal for the leadership team and the president to bring in change management and adopt a change management mindset within the organization. So I proposed that we hire an OCM, or a change management practitioner, to come in and help us get started and create an actual practice. I would definitely start the conversation and show them how change management can help support people, and we can keep more of those good people that we have working in the organization today.
Right. I think we're at the end, almost nearing the end of our session. But I can't help but ask that, without revealing names, or feel free to if you can. What's been like can you walk us through a real life scenario that you faced where it was like the most challenging project, perhaps? And I'm sure you've had a share of a lot of them, in your experience. Could you walk us through one scenario? I know it could be I don't
Sure.
have the time.
I have so many.
Yeah,
I have so many. Let me tell you about our most recent one that was actually really, really exciting. So this is a new web store, or an e-commerce website, it's also called. So what we were doing is, the organization had a 10-year-old e-commerce platform, very out of date, going out of support. And guess what? Bottom line, if it broke, we could not bring it back up. So we had to replace it. So this was B2B. So think of it as an organization who sells to other businesses. They did that through their website. So that's how they sold their products and services. And to replace the website, and we only had like very short number of weeks to do it, we actually created a brand new solution based on something called Optimizely. And if anybody wants to look that up, it is a global e-commerce solution. It's Optimizely, Optimezly, Optimizely. Hopefully I spelled that right. And it is a global solution. We built a brand new e-commerce platform. We worked across the organization. So we had to identify who's going to use this. Customers, right? So the customers are definite, stakeholders, as I call them. But there's also the sales team, the customer support team, the IT team. There's so many, right? The marketing folks. There's so many people internally that were impacted by this. We basically identified all the impacted groups or people that were going to be impacted. We developed a strategy based on all the different roles, like I talked about earlier. And we then executed activities to support each of those stakeholder groups individually through the change. We rolled out the new platform, and within 48 hours, we had 92% of customers transitioned over and registered on the new site, and it was very, very successful. So it was a fun project, very successful. And that's the power of having a change management person that actually supports people through change, as opposed to just trying to kind of roll out something and hope, it's like throwing mud against the wall, right?
Yeah.
Is it going to stick? So yeah, when you have a change management practitioner who understands how to do that, you can achieve way better success, more successful outcomes than you ever could without a change management practitioner.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Ruth. Lastly, are there any networks attendees are asking they could join to learn from others who are in the field about the pros and cons of? Are there any networks out there?
It's really a good question. So I would say that there's some definitely some professional associations that you should look into, CMP and other ones. Now, what I would recommend. CMP is Change Management Professionals, by the way. But what I would do is I would definitely hit up LinkedIn. I would definitely do some searches on LinkedIn, both in the job area, because you can see what kind of roles are available, what's being posted, just get a feel for that. But I would also just do it from the feed, from your Wayne homepage. And I would look up change management and I would see what hits you get, because you're going to get all kinds of groups, associations, all kinds of things that you can follow and join and participate in, just to suss it out, see like what's happening. Is this for me? Like, what do these people do? Do people like it? Is everyone as crazy as Ruthann or RA? Like, you know, I love what I do, you guys. Like,
Really, yes. Yeah.
I get to support people every single day and give them a hug, right? A virtual hug. So to me, it's the best job in the world. And I get up every day at 4 a.m. with no alarm because I love what I do. So.
Well, I believe personally, every organization would benefit from having a Ruthann in it, just for the
so much
and passion that you have for your job. And I'm sure the passion is infectious. I think all of us have learned so much from your session. Thank you so much, Ruthann. With this, we will come to the end of our web conference. Thank you for your expertise and your knowledge, Ruthann. Thank you for being so generous with your time. We want to thank all our presenters today. Thank you to our partners, ACCESS Employment, to our speakers, Aditika, Michelle, Rina, Nicolette, and of course, Ruthann, for joining us today and sharing their skills and expertise with everyone. If you've missed anything at all, this web conference will be posted on our website for all of you to rewatch. Do take a moment to watch all of our web conferences that we've had this year. And if you have any questions, do email us at info@canadianimmigrant.ca. Thank you again for joining us. We look forward to hosting more of these sessions in the new year. Happy holidays. Have a safe and wonderful holiday season, and see you all in the new year. Thank you so much.